killing children, erotic games, and skin jobs. Give a round of applause for this 25th episode. Oh my god, this week was for the win. Thanks for tuning in to our 25th episode of Oh My God, This Week Was For The Win. I'm your host, Luke Brown. Thank you. You might remember me from the new releases show Hadco Games or Inglorious Plumbers, which, for all intents and purposes, makes that shitty Kirby's Dream Land trailer look really shitty. Seriously, I'd rather be kicked in the junk for 3 minutes than to have to sit through that again.
That can be arranged.
Oh, I hope not. Anyhow, this week I promise to be funny, so let's get rolling. So apparently there's a hack-and-slash platform adventure game coming out called Fairy Tale Fights, where you play as famous Fable characters who have nasty violent streaks. Sounds good, right? Mm-hmm. Here's where it gets better. The developers' PlayLogic planned to include an achievement for killing 1,000 children. While the odds of that getting approved are about as good as those of your sister's chlamydia test coming back negative, gotta give some props to these guys for at least trying. At the very least, the kid killing will still make it into the game, so we've got that going for us. Sadly, no matter how good or bad the game actually ends up being, it will likely only be remembered for this child killing, particularly if and when television pundits like Glenn Get Over 9/11 Beck or Megan I'm hot but dumber than the guy who wrote Kirby's Dream Land Kelly catch wind of it. There are a few things more frustrating than listening to people like those two talk. Trying to get a bra off with one hand comes to mind, but here's hoping that Microsoft has the testicular fortitude to let them keep it in the game. I sure would like to see which of my friends has the wherewithal to put in the time and effort it takes to slaughter scores of small citizens. Yet another game with the slightest hint of rape has been yanked from the sweaty palms of the basement-dwelling ne'er-do-wells that eagerly anticipated its release.
Damn it!
Not me. And Yet I Love You, a visual novel, was pulled from the community games section of Xbox Live when Microsoft found what they're calling visual reminders of sexual assault. One image in particular, featuring an adolescent-looking girl whose underwear was visible and who was being held down by the wrists, got the whole thing started. What is it with people and their need for erotic games? I mean, isn't there enough free porn starring real women on the internet? Not will women, real women? You don't have to resort to playing a game where you slap some virtual titties or tickle some overly endowed purple-haired ninja's feet while she's tied down to a giant dildo. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I love scantily clad ladies even more. But I've just never understood the fascination with games like Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball or Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 2. And those aren't even really all that erotic. It's just a bunch of bikini-clad women with massive jubblies playing in the pool. I mean, you don't even get a chance to try and drug them and take them back to your cabin for a quiet night for the fireplace. So what's the point? Am I right? Speaking of scantily clad, the slinkily dressed, smoking hot Cylon we'd all go Roboto for has signed yet another video game voiceover deal. The painfully gorgeous Tricia Helfer will be the voice of Kerrigan in Blizzard's StarCraft 2. Having recently completed her work for Microsoft's Halo ODST, Trish the Dish just doesn't seem to want to stay out of the geek space for very long. Not that I'm complaining or anything. I never really got down with the BSG, but I didn't have to watch that show to understand just how ridiculously beautiful the femme fatale was. Listen, all I'm saying is that it's a good thing this show was shot from the waist up. Nothing for that? Jesus. Take a long time to get that joke. I had to admit, it's a strong sign that more and more notable actors are willing to star in video games. The more credible the source of income the industry becomes for them, the more likely they are to commit to more and more roles. But you're not watching this show because you want to hear me give a discourse on games being a legitimate art form. You want to oogle more pictures of pretty ladies.
Yes.
Not going to complain or lie. I want to oogle more pictures too. Before I leave you with this week's tribute to Tricia Helfer, I'd like to personally challenge the people behind the travesty on the eyes that Kirby's Dream Land was. Name the game, and we'll movie trailer duel to the death.
Yes.
We'll see you next time.
There we go. It's on.